And the message, it really geared me up to take another step in my relationship with God. And one of the things I promised myself this year was I promised to set an expectation on what I am asking from God. We believe that expectation sets the atmosphere for miracles. And understand that expectations set the atmosphere for miracles. Receiving is based on asking. So I've been taught to go to God and ask Him for certain things. And when I ask Him, I set an expectation on God because I know that He's going to set an expectation on me. And then the expectation is everything that you ask God for, you have to become the person to receive it. So I really put a challenge on God, and He challenged me to become this individual. And part of becoming this individual was really a push behind this movement that we're doing in New York, the United States, and it's unapologetic ambassadors for Christ. And unapologetic ambassadors for Christ is saying, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. Who I am as a Christian coincides as who as I am as an individual. You can't separate my Christianity from my life no more than you can separate me from being black. Right? I can't only be black on Sundays. I'm a black person 24/7, 365. Right? You know, I'm not Chinese because I'm now in Singapore eating all the Peking duck that I can. So that started a big push in my life. And one of the things I had to become was an individual who is truly unapologetic about my relationship with Christ. We say it, you know, a lot of us have the Peter mentality. And the Peter mentality is when Peter goes to God, Christ, and he says, Christ, be far from you that you will die. And Christ goes back to Peter and says, Satan, get behind me. He said, before the rooster crows 3 times, you will deny me. And when we get saved, we have the desire and the excitement, but we are sometimes or we sometimes think more of ourselves than we should. So we get saved and say, yes, I love God and I'm ready to do this and for God. And then God places you in the atmosphere that really challenges you and say, okay, are you going to speak about your faith or are you going to be quiet? And no matter what you do, no matter where you go, as a Christian, you will always make a sinner feel uncomfortable. And if you're making a sinner feel uncomfortable, then you are doing the right thing. But if you're a Christian in an atmosphere where the sinners around you are not feeling uncomfortable, then you're not being a true Christian.